Thomas Ashe, Irish Catholic hero and poet, episode 128. I am Rod Murphy, and this is Growing Up Poor in Irish Boston, a series of my 1950s era Irish Boston history songs, poems, jokes, and stories. The death of Tom Ashe has filled everyone, even political opponents, with horror, indignation, but a day of reckoning will come. So said Michael Collins in 1917. Thomas Ashe, an Irish rising hero, was born in Dingle, County Kerry, Ireland, to Gregory Ashe, a farmer, and Ellen Hannafin Ashe on January 12, 1885. Thomas was the seventh child, with three brothers following him. Both Irish and English were spoken in their house. He studied at the De La Salle Training College in Waterford. After qualifications in 1908, he began his teaching career as principal of Corduff National School, County Dublin. His deep interest in the Irish language and the culture led him to become an active member of the Gaelic League, an organization devoted to the revival of all things Gaelic. He started branches of the Gaelic League in Skerries and other neighboring villages. He taught Irish at the Corduff School. Historian Peter Hart noted Ashe was a gentle, devout, and much-loved man, cut from the same idealistic cloth as the patriots Patrick Pearse and Joseph Plunkett. He was also a piper and an athlete. He founded the award-winning Lusk Black Raven Pipe Band, as well as the Round Towers Gaelic Athletic Association. When the Irish Volunteers were formed in 1913, Ashe joined, and in 1915, he was elected leader of the Fingal Volunteers in Dublin. To Ashe, the opportunity of a rising in arms for Ireland was a, quote, an honor only few generations of the people of Ireland received, unquote. Commanding the Fingal Battalion of the Irish Volunteers, Ashe took part in the 1916 Easter Rebellion. Ashe's force of 70 men engaged in British forces around North County, Dublin during the Rising. The battalion won a major victory in Ashbourne, County Meath, where they engaged a much larger force, capturing a significant quantity of arms and 20 Royal Constabulary vehicles. This group also successfully demolished the Great Northern Railway Bridge, disrupting access to the capital. 24 hours after the Rising collapsed, Ashe's battalion surrendered. On May 8, 1916, Ashe was court-martialed and sentenced to death. The sentence was commuted to penal servitude for life. He served time in a number of English jails and was released in the amnesty of June 1917. He was arrested again in August 1917 on the charge of sedition. For this, he was sentenced to 2 years hard labor. In Mountjoy jail, he was among 40 prisoners who began the first hunger strike against their treatment, demanding political prisoner status. The British authorities retaliated by taking away the prisoners' beds, bedding, and boots. After 50 hours of lying on a cold stone floor, the prisoners were subjected to forced feeding. On September 23rd and 24th, Dr. Raymond Dowdall, the prison medical officer, force-fed Ashe. On the morning of September 25th, 1917, the same force feeding was carried out by Dr. William Lowe, who was unfamiliar with the procedure. Immediately after the feeding, Ashe collapsed. He was transferred to Mater Misericordiae Hospital, where he died later that evening. On September 27, 1917, a coroner's inquest condemned the staff at the prison for inhumane, dangerous, and unskillful operations performed on the prisoner and other acts of unfeeling and barbaric conduct, unquote. It concluded that Ashe had died of heart failure and congestion of lungs due to force feeding, combined with the previous removal of his bedding and boots, which had left him in a physically weakened state. The funeral service for Ashe was organized by the Irish Republican Brotherhood and the Dublin Brigade of the Irish Volunteers. Richard Mulcahy was in charge of the arrangements. Irish leader Michael Collins was designated to deliver the graveside oration. Thomas Ashe's body was taken to the Pro Cathedral on Marlborough Street, Dublin, for a solemn requiem mass on Thursday, September 27, 1917, and then to City Hall to lie in state until the day of his public funeral. An armed guard of uniformed Irish volunteers kept vigil as thousands came to pay their respect and offer prayers for his soul. On Sunday, September 30th, 1917, Ashe's cortege made its way through Dublin to Glasnevin Cemetery, where he was buried. An estimated 40,000 people lined the route. At the graveside, 12 uniformed Irish volunteers fired a volley of 3 shots, and then Michael Collins made a short speech in English and in Irish. His words were, quote, "Nothing additional remains to be said. That volley which we have just heard is the only speech which is proper to make above the grave of a dead Fenian." This left the Irish population in no doubt as to what was needed to gain independence from England. Collins also later said, "The death of Tom Ashe has filled everybody, even political opponents, with horror and indignation, but a day of reckoning will come." Thomas Ashe was only 32 when he died. Michael Collins, aged only 27 when he gave the graveside oration. Collins himself was killed 5 years later. Thomas Ashe wrote this poem as a prayer, asking God for Ashe to bear the suffering and the blame so his comrades in his native land would be spared. The poem reflects Christ's themes of great sacrifice. This episode provides a glimpse of the Easter Rising history and patriotism. I hope you like it, and then subscribe to my Growing Up Poor in Irish Boston podcast series. And now to Tom Ashe's poem, "Let Me Carry Your Cross for Ireland, Lord," by Thomas Ashe. Let me carry your cross for Ireland, Lord. The hour of her trial draws near, and the pangs and the pains of the sacrifice may be borne by my comrades dear. But, Lord, take me from the offering throng. There are many far less prepared, though anxious in all as they are to die, that Ireland may be spared. Let me carry your cross for Ireland, Lord. My cares in this world are few, and few are the tears will for me fall, when I go on my way to you. Spare, oh spare, to their loved ones dear, the brother and the son and the sire, that the cause we love may never die in the land of our heart's desire. Let me carry your cross for Ireland, Lord. Let me suffer the pain and shame. I bow my head to their rage and hate, and I take on myself the blame. Let them do with my body whatever they will, my spirit I offer to you, that the faithful few who heard her call may be spared to Roshan Duff. Let me carry your cross for Ireland, Lord, for Ireland weak with tears, for the aged man of the clouded brow and the child of tender years, for the empty homes of her golden plains, for the hope of her future too. Let me carry your cross for Ireland, Lord, for the cause of Roshan.